What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark, MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to talk about Look Into My Eyes. I've got glasses on and I'm blind, so this is a really fun movie for me to talk about. uh, this is A24. They provided this for my consideration, and I always like to say that just so that people understand in case they think that I'm like, I don't know, curving a movie because I got it as a screener because it's like, oh my God, he's so honored. Um, I just try to be fair with everything. So, um, and it sadly didn't have audio description on it. I'm finding out that the A24 physical screeners don't have audio description, just like the A24 digital room doesn't have audio description. And I'm just like, guys, do you not think there are any blind voters in any of these bodies that you're sending this shit out to? Seriously. Anyway, because it's not like they're making specific discs. Like, they're like, ooh, this is the Writers Guild. Make sure to add audio description to the discs. No, they're making a life choice. So, maybe explore that as an option. That would be what I would say. It's a documentary about mediums, about psychics and mediums, and their stories. It's not going at it from like the angle of like trying to pull back the curtain and be like, aha, y'all are fake. It's just sort of is like looking into the world of who are you? Why did you get into this? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Why is it you are able to say that you're a psychic or medium or connect with the dead or the spirits or tachometry or pet psychics or whatever it is that you do. Why is it that you say you do what you do and promote that, and what's your life like, and then also the lives of the people that it touches. And I don't know, it was fine. This didn't change my life at all, one way or the other. Even with audio description, I just would have known who these people were. It's a little bit like a talking head documentary because we kind of like shift through these people through interviews, a lot of interviews. There isn't like a person that is in this movie that's like going through and interviewing people like a Michael Moore. So although that would be a fun movie, Michael Moore interviewing psychics and mediums. But yeah, I mean, each person has their different story. I love there was the one psychic that's like obsessed with, she's like, I know some people are obsessed with Marvel, but I'm obsessed with John Waters movies. She's got like Pink Flamingos posters. She's like, this is my Pink Flamingos poster. This is my, I don't know, she had a couple other John Waters things. And she's like, yeah, I used to, I grew up watching like Independent Film Channel and all those, Parker Posey movies and Jennifer Jason Leigh movies. And I was like, wow, okay. So I was getting a lot of vibes as to like, it's funny when you got somebody who's like so deep into like indie film, and it's like you realize that you're now sort of like in an indie documentary. Your life has come full circle. Forget the fact that you're a medium. This is the kind of documentary that could have ended up on Independent Film Channel if IFC had picked it up instead of A24. This film doesn't really scream A24 to me. This is like, for people who are like, it's got A24 vibes. This doesn't have A24 vibes. I think they're just trying to figure out how do we break into documentaries, and if so, which ones. And I would have told A24 this is not the documentary to try to do that with. This doesn't feel like them at all. This has no A24 vibes. And I think some people are already starting to see that A24 is getting a little bit more mainstream. They're putting a little bit more budget into their work. And the diehard A24 fans are starting to be concerned about, like, are they going to go too mainstream? Because pretty much A24 has like a little conglomerate of people that will watch anything that's A24. And then they rank them. Like they're constantly ranking. They're like, I've seen my 64th A24 movie today, guys. It's like, it's weird. I can't think of the last time that a studio had that level of reverence attached to them. I mean, Disney has it for like entirely different reasons. And it's usually nostalgic ones for people who grew up with like Disney animation or something like that, and Pixar, stuff like that. But for just like for a distributor, I don't know that anybody else really has the same level of clout as A24. Not even Neon, which basically is doing the same thing A24 is doing. So A24 has managed to brand itself in such a way where if you mess with the branding by releasing something like this that really doesn't have any A24 vibes, you kind of run the risk of alienating your fan base more than you do benefiting from having a documentary that's definitely not going to get nominated for the Oscar. So I don't really see the upside in this documentary for A24. This probably should have been on Independent Film Channel, an IFC film, and this probably should have, you know what I'm saying? Like that one woman's life would have gone full circle, because it feels very much more like an IFC doc than it does an A24 doc. So yeah, there's nothing really that weird about it, and that's me saying that without audio description. So I mean, I guess I don't know, maybe there's something that could be really weird about it. Maybe the whole documentary is told through, I don't know, some odd form of stop motion animation. I don't know, but I just feel like it's not. So I'm trying to think of like what would make this film an A24 movie. I can't think about it. So, yeah, I giggled a lot because some of this stuff is really silly. If you don't believe in psychics and mediums, this is not really going to change your mind on anything. But the pet psychic, listen, like I understand, and I don't even mind it, because people, like, for some people it's just like providing almost like a service. Like, people need to hear things and say things. But I love the lady that comes up, and I love we caught this on camera too, because sometimes I feel like you're just being asked a dumb question, and it's okay to say, I don't know. You know, I need more specifics. But she goes ahead and answers it anyway. This woman's like, what about birds? And then she's like, is there like a specific bird? And she's like, no, just birds. I feel like birds. They're just always like falling out of the sky around me. I was just like, what? What a weird thing. She's like, yeah. Do they die? No. Some of them, one just fell on me the other day. I'm just like, who is this woman that birds are just falling on all the time? I've never had a bird fall on me before. This one has birds fall on her all the time, apparently. And that's what she needs a psychic for. She's like, please tell me why birds keep falling on me. I don't know. I found it to be funnier than, like, I was in the middle of this like serious movie on mediums, and this one thing's like, can you tell me why birds keep falling on me? And it's just totally changed my mood about the movie. I was like, this is, I think the camera crew was giggling. They had to be. It's a really funny question. It's objectively funny. So I don't know what to say about this. I mean, this is a year of some heavy hitter documentaries. A24 has done some really solid work this year, and this is like one of the least interesting things I've seen them do ever. And it's not even one of the strongest documentaries this year. Is it a bad documentary, though? No. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, which is what it goes into the lives of these mediums, tells you what they're doing, talks to them, you learn a little bit more about life, and then you leave. And then that's it. It's not revolutionary. It doesn't really have a new angle. It's not finding a way of convincing you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like this is a documentary that you leave going, oh my God, my mind has changed. It just is. That's what I'm going to say. It just is. It's these stories, these personal stories. And if nothing else, it'll give you appreciation for why people, even if you don't believe in it, why people need this service, why people sometimes need closure on things, why people just need to be told things. And if you're really good, even if people are just reading people and they're not really a psychic or a medium, even if you think it's all bullshit, for some people, they offer them a lot of peace. And it's like, it's not hurting anybody. I mean, I guess it could. I mean, I guess if you do the wrong reading, you could be like, I see in your future that you're supposed to sell all of your possessions and move to Zimbabwe. And then this person's just like, oh shit, I'm supposed to, okay, well, this medium tells me I'm supposed to leave the country and move to, no, right? You know, I mean, I guess like if you're telling people to make major life choices like that, maybe, but um, yeah, I don't know. I don't see, you know, they're usually pretty vague about their stuff, and at least all the stuff that was on camera was all just sort of like harmless. Just uh, yeah, it's so weird that this is A24. It's so weird. I was expecting this. I was like, ooh, A24 did a doc. Ooh, this is gonna be good. I was waiting for like to like have my face smacked. You know, even without audio description, I was just waiting for it to be like, oh my God, what a weird perspective. I love this. But it doesn't even feel like that. It feels like they think that it's an A24 thing because it's got A24 vibes simply because they're talking about psychics and mediums. No. No, sir. No. No to whoever picked this up for distribution, whoever thought that that would qualify with A24 fans. Maybe ask your A24 fans next time what are A24 vibes. Try to get them to quantify that for you. Um, yeah, I need audio description on this, so I'm not going to give it an official grade. My official grade is unwatchable, which it is for almost every single movie that has that lacks audio description. But my floating grade for this movie would be, I'm not going to tank it. I'm going to say it's a C plus. It's not one of my favorite docs of the year. It's very much on the lower end of documentaries. I mean, I don't know. How do you even put this up against something like uh, We Will Dance Again, you know, which is like real footage captured of a giant mass shooting, you know, which has like that and talking to the survivors. I mean, like, how do you put those on the same level? Or No Other Land, or The Commandant's Shadow, Sugar Cane, stuff like that. How, I mean, like, where does this, like, how do you even, anyway, I don't know. I feel bad for documentaries. When the world is on fire, it's really hard to come across with one of these and really just make a rich documentary that's about people who aren't like in crisis. So I would say C plus is sort of like the mid, with C or B minus on the high end, depending on the audio description, as a floating grade. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will see you guys on the other side.